Where's my vintage lock tab at?
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any vintage lock tabs.
Okay, give me a little narrative here, Keenan. What are we working on?
I am looking for my vintage lock tab because I'm restoring my vintage tranny for my 37 ULH.
Vintage Tranley, 37 ULH.
There it is. I knew I had one.
Look at it, it's brand new inside. Man, that's new old stock.
Yeah, right. Quite. Okay, I found my vintage lock tab.
Okay. What about these vintage stress cracks here?
That lets oil in and out.
Okay.
Okay, now I got a brand new lock tab, so you missed me fixing it.
All right. Okay, and that's where that hammer's got some history.
Okay, this here is an original late 37, early 38 transmission only. So when you go in your restoration book, they say you don't find these parts. Well, there's one out here. So the 36 to 37 trannies have a slot over in here that lets the oil go through instead of being up over here. And they also do not have the vent here because the vent goes in the cover over here.
Okay. So that's how you identify it.
Okay, now 36 trannies, there's 2 or 3 variations of them, do not have the 5th bolt here.
Okay.
They do have the small drain plug, just like this, with a slot in it. Okay, so this tranny here is a 37 tranny because it has that. That's late 37. But the problem is the picture, the one they have in the picture book don't have the small drain plug, it has the big drain plug, which is next to 38.
Has this been repaired here?
No, and this is also copper brass material here instead of a steel insert, which they don't talk about in the book either.
Gotcha.
So this here has to be a very late 37 only tranny.
Okay.
Because 38 they probably went to a bigger thread over here.
And how about
this? They probably went to a steel insert. That fell off when I blasted all the rust off this thing. It was pretty nasty looking.
Well, you think they dropped it or it just fell away?
Just like it has a little extra oil seepage areas.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It is a vintage tranny, means it has vintage issues with it. So it has a couple of those spider web areas somewhere in there.
What causes that? Just stress?
Parts in here wanting to get out.
Oh, okay. That's what I was curious.
So anyway, there's another one of those cracks in there somewhere. I don't know what it is. Anyway. So you said one turn, turns fine. Alright, so this case here is going to be a very late 37 case. Now our lid over here is a 38 case lid because it has the boss right here. Late 37 didn't have that boss right there. But I do have the early 36 full round gear over here that they said they only use that for early or mid 36 only. See, it's got teeth all the way around.
Oh, uh-huh.
So their book's full of crap as usual. They used whatever the hell they wanted off the shelves as usual. So this here is going to be a very late 37 cover or a very early 38. Now, seeing how it came with the tranny, I think they were made at the same time.
I imagine so. You think anybody's been into it before?
No, I don't have. It was missing a shaft, and this is the wrong shaft. It's got the thread in it, but
yeah, okay.
I'll make do. This one here is a crappy one that has a thread in it, so what I'll do is I'll take it and weld this all up and make
fix it.
Make it look like this one without the hole.
Nice, okay.
Because I can't duplicate this nice finish.
Right.
Yeah, we don't want to be using reproduction crap, so.
And you're going with this chrome side cover?
No, I just stole the shaft.
Oh, okay. I know you don't like chrome.
Okay, now this here piece is another oddball piece. So these things, they only use these vents out here for I think 41 and earlier or something. I forget what the range was on them. Or it was 39. No, it was 39. Mid 39 they got rid of this. So if you have this on here, it has to be early 39 or older. So 39, they put a flap right here for the big 39 bearing to clear. So that makes this a early 39 here because this in mid and late 39 they didn't have this.
Okay.
So this is a 6-month only cover. Also, this is casting in here, whereas a 37, late 37, 38, they had a screw-in finger that sit right here.
Oh.
Or riveted. I mean, it was riveted in there, they said. So it has 5 fins in here, which is mid 37 and up. So that puts this cover at early 39 only. The case is late 37 only, and the lid is early 38 only.
But it was all together.
It was all together, so the book is full of shit.
Okay.
So they overlapped.
Okay.
So, and the only cast numbers in here are your 33 number in here, which is stock. After I blast all the corrosion off this thing. This thing looked like it was sitting out in an ocean for a while.
Wow.
These gears are all brown in here, didn't move. Now the next thing we got is we have the 38 and earlier shift finger here, which is, it does not have the pin on it. Where's that one have the pin on it? Where's the roller?
Huh?
This is the later one. Did you do the roller? There it is. So these here did not have these rollers right here. That made it work better in the cam, and it is not form fitted to that one yet. This one went on there before. There, that's the one that fit on it. Where's our drum at? Okay, this goes in here, and the roller in here makes it shift a lot easier and doesn't wear as much.
Sure.
So these ones here are solid fingers. So these are 36 to 38, which of course matches the tranny. So I'm going to put in the early 39 to, who knows, somewhere during the war. Because see, these have a cotter pin hole in them right here. That puts the finger in and keeps the finger from falling off.
Got it.
Okay, so this was only used on the first few years. So I don't want to use the solid bushing because I want the thing to actually work.
Right.
So I'm going to update it to the next vintage piece after. So right now I only got one of these, but I'll keep my eye out for more of them. So I'll swap out this one for this one and keep everything else original to it.
Now you said that was all brown and there had water been in it?
It was completely rusted, didn't move.
Okay. So we're guessing the bearings are no good in it?
Yeah, the guy I got it from, he had it, he was going to put this on his 48 pennies building. Dan, you might know him. Anyway, he let this thing soak for about 2 or 3 weeks and finally got to where it would actually rotate. That's how
It actually, the gears all look pretty good in it.
The gears are usable. It's just I don't know what the bearing areas look like
Right.
yet.
Well, you're not going to, yeah.
I haven't seen any broken gears, even though we have evidence of broken parts. Because these here get broken from pieces trying to come out.
Right.
But the case hasn't been broken. The tabs are all in here.
Yeah.
It's still got the 3/8 holes in here, which are not stripped out yet.
Right.
So this is a pretty nice case.
Will you repair that?
Yeah, this was broken from being bounced around.
Yeah, right.
Out of the bike.
Right.
With brakes.
Dropped it or bumped it. Yeah.
Right. So this thing sat around because it was locked up solid.
Yeah, but somebody kept
that.
it. Yeah, nice.
This is getting chewed up from me keep banging it right here.
Yeah, but still,
but
not
this is the
bad.
original, it's the original drag on it too. All that stuff's original. So everything's original about this thing. And of course, that's an original screwed up main shaft too. So,
But we know somebody that can fix all that.
so like I said, this came as a unit. Everything else I've been adding in. So
Gotcha.
I had this cover sitting around because I've been piecing together my 37 ULH for a long time. So these are parts I had. So this is the late finger. Where's that other finger we had? Okay, this is your modern finger. See how big the slot is?
Mm-hmm.
This is your early push rod. It has a titty in it, and the titty's in there for that to go through it.
Oh.
So this goes into the taper. This goes on here like that. The titty's right there. So that keeps everything kind of aligned, even though it's not going to go anywhere.
Right.
There's a shaft going through it.
Right.
Over engineering. So later on they figured they didn't need it. They took that off. But all your early stuff has those on there. So I had to find a good push rod that wasn't all chewed up here on this end or over here. So that's my good one. I got one more that's almost as good. Okay, the next problem is once we get away from these late model arms here. Now it's still a Harley one here, which means it's good. It's heat treated made of good metal. The aftermarket ones are more squared off and they break like crazy. And you can see how this one's all worn out. See how it gets all flat in here?
Right.
It's supposed to be a radius on here. See how that gets a dimple in it?
Right.
So this is supposed to go in and out like this as it works. It's supposed to radius across it, or roll across like this. Alright, so this arm here, see how this got a flat right here? See how this one doesn't?
Mm-hmm.
So this is earlier than this. That's why that one's in there. Now, before they put this big bearing in, they had a little small roller bearing like the new bikes have, except it was a ball bearing. Now, I do have that original stuff, but I don't want to use it. I want to use more. I'm going to actually ride the bike, so I'm going to put it with the 39 part. And this is a very good used one I got that's original.
Right.
How nice that works. I've been keeping that for a long time. Finally got a good use for it.
Right.
So right now I got this shaft in here. This is the shaft that I got with it, but see how it's been all beat on, or I mean all ground on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I got done fixing all the threads up in here, but then I saw this was bad here. So this shaft came out of this later cover over here, which is a 49 casting. So this is basically probably a mid 50s and up panhead cover. Just some junk late model stuff. And see how they're all shaped differently here.
Yeah, they are, certainly. Mm-hmm.
See, they look the same right here, but then this is radius, this is not. It's
Yeah,
got flats.
different.
And then this is real different because it's actually cut away here. The later ones, they don't even have this cut in here. It's just more flat.
Okay.
And this is more sculptured cut. Another way of telling stuff. So I just got done swapping out this because this was a better one than the one I had over there. Now that was the first one I found. Where's the other one? I don't know, I have 4 of these now. Great. This one that was in it, see, I was all boogered up. Can't have boogered up parts in my bike. It's like crap. Well, this one here is worn real bad right here, so we can't have that one. So this one here looks pretty good, but it's got a little rub mark here. This was one I was going to use. And then I found this one here, so this one's a little bit better yet. So we're going to go with that vintage piece there. See, I like to restore my bike for the original parts.
Right.
So this is basically a non-restoration restoration. So this looks like an original bike that's never been worked on, but it's actually been fully restored.
Right, right. I like it.
This is how you do it. They make those unrestored bikes unrestored.
Right.
But they're actually fully 100% restored. Yeah.
But they run. That's what we're talking
So I just
about.
got this all put in there. I got the shim in here, cotter keys in there.
Nice.
So I had to beat the bushing up a little bit, so it's good. Now obviously I'm going to have to fix this later, but now we're just getting all the parts together.
Oh, don't need this.
Nope, that's the vent screw. I don't need that. So these are our kicker gears. So we're trying to figure out kicker gears. Now I'm not reading the book, I'm just looking at what I have laying around. So the first thing I noticed is we have 4 rivets and we have 3 rivets. And we also have full gear teeth cut, whereas the aftermarket gears, they only cut them this far around.
I see.
And the later Harley stuff also. So these are all early gears because they're full circle. So, and like I said, you got 4 rivets and 3 rivets. So this is the 4 rivet, and these are 3 rivets here. And this one here is a 4th one maybe. But they had this thing put in, I don't know what the hell that is. Now there's supposed to be a stop that keeps the kicker fully engaged, so you can pull the cover on off without the kicker hitting you in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Because the kicker cover over here,
Right.
you need to pull back a little bit maybe.
I got it.
So the kicker here, when you pull this off, will unwind on you unless you have a stop. The early bikes, they had a stop so it would actually hold it in the right spot. So that's missing here, and it's also missing the other stop, but it has no wear here, no wear here. The teeth are pretty damn nice. We got a little bit of wear in the teeth right there only, but that's it. These also look a little bit narrower than aftermarket gears too. So what I was thinking, I'm going to take this one here where it's pretty chewed up. I'm going to take this pin out here, or at least duplicate it, and I'll put one in here. And then it'll be a functional kicker gear, because that's your stop for all the way down here. Now if I can figure out where the pin is supposed to be, see how this is a big weld on here? I mean, this is machined on. I've seen them where they had just a pin sticking out. And I don't know if the pin is different or here or what. I don't know. I got to find some pictures or something yet. I don't have a gear to go by right now. So minimum is I'm going to make it look like this so it's functional. I have to have a stop.
Where's the one that came out of it?
I don't know.
Oh,
I don't have it.
okay.
So we're going to use this one for now. We're going to keep this one for the part, so I'll be able to keep it. The other thing is we got the kicker arms. On your 39, 40 and earlier arm, the arm doesn't bend out until it doesn't bend out very much. It stays real tight to the bike. The later arms come way up to here, and then they bend straight, and then they bend here pretty far out. And that's the later arm. In 40 or 41, they went to the big round muffler. Before that, they had a little small round muffler. This arm is made for the small round one.
I see.
So this is only for your basically 39 or 40 and earlier. And the 36 arms and early 37, they actually welded this hole up and ground this flat. So it's not that one because this one has a hole in it. So this is basically going to be your 38, 39, 40 arm. which happens to be the year the training is going to be, so we're all right. Now this has the late model painted pedal on it, it's not right. So these are a couple of original kicker pedal I dug out. So I robbed this bushing out of this one over here. You're not following my hand very well.
Yeah, that's all right. I'm not. Yep.
So this one here now is a functional pedal. We're going to take off this stupid ugly ass panel part and turn it into a flathead part like it's supposed to be.
Okay.
So I'm just getting all this stuff together. We got an original spring I found. So I actually have a couple of them floating around. Here's another one. So I was just working on that. I got that together. I got this working on this now. So this goes in there like that, and it winds up like that. And that stays in there, and then this goes on here in the appropriate spot, which is about there. Now see, there's another problem we're having with this kicker arm. See how,
Worn out.
See how loose that is? That's probably why the threads on the nut are so bad. So to save this arm, I'm going to have to actually go in here and weld up this square and hand cut it or put it in a mill or work on do something. I'll probably run up hand grinding it. I got to make that so it's tight because it can't be like that. It will not.
It'll just keep working.
It will not ever stay tight. So until I find something better. Yeah, is that the one we have?
No, this one.
They both look like crap. See, this is the nut that was on it. See how small it is?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably the correct nut. But seeing how the shaft is bad, I'm going to keep this nut on it because this will give me a little more holding power. Where's my tools at? No crescent wrench. What kind of deal is this? I have to use my spark plug socket. See, that didn't even begin to be like it's supposed to.
That's a lot of kicking on that one.
So, well, the problem is, see, the nut's bottomed out and the gear is loose.
Right.
That's why that happened. So the square is too tall in there for whatever reason. There's a mismatch of components. And if you don't fix the problem, you have problems like this. It gets
Right.
worse and worse.
We're
and
just
worse
and worse. Gotcha.
So this one's getting worse and worse and worse. So that's how that is. And that's not even the one I'm going to use. Spun around a little bit. This is the one I'm going to use. See, it has the same problem.
So I have the same problem.
Well, see, that should have bottomed out because see the square in here is below. I don't understand why that didn't bottom out. Yeah. I don't know if the lock is causing a problem or what. See, that one got a little tighter. Something's going on that's not correct. Alright, so that one's on there. Let me grab a different kicker here. Alright, here's another kicker on it. This one I didn't go with the 50%. See, this one's a lot better condition though. So this one here might be a little bit better condition, but it looks like this has been chromed or no, it's still pretty rough. It's just painted. So I might end up using this arm instead of the other arm. I'll put the really small nut on there because that's what probably is correct. So I'm going to keep this part here with this, figure out which one I'm going to use. Once again, this is that early arm with the low offset. Here's a later arm here.
Yeah, you can definitely see the difference.
See how it has the extra exhaust clearance here?
Sure.
So you can see it. So you can see the
Sure.
offset change. So this is made to clear the bigger muffler.
Sure, sure.
So this is like 40 or 41 and later. This is our early one. So you have to have a selection of your parts. Now this one here, I don't know what the hell it is, because it's a little bit different than this one. But I think it's just been rebent a bunch.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So it's probably been dropped more than once.
Yeah.
But it's been chrome, so it's worthless. Who the hell wants a chrome piece of crap arm in a Harley? I like this one too. Now this one has some special customization
I
going on
see
here.
that little bit of grinding
Yeah, a little road rash.
and a hand grind.
Got a little road rash going on that one. Okay, now we get over here. Now this here is broken here. So another one here, put in here. So I'm going to get these screws out somehow, which are all completely in there. So what's going to happen, I'm going to wind up grinding this away until this plate comes off, and I'll have to try
Then
to
get
get the
this,
screws out.
extract the screws.
It'll be fun.
You'll get it.
It'll take a little bit of work. This plate here also, you can see how it's all, the kicker gear has pushed this all the way down to here.
Mm-hmm.
So that all has to be all welded back up and then recut, or I'll just get a different plate. So those are standardized, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So that all has to be worked on yet. It's not that simple. Anyway, this thing here, make sure it's fit. Goes on there. Okay, is the throw working? I didn't move it. I didn't need to move it. Let's put light pressure. Light pressure. Light
Yeah.
pressure. Yeah, but I can't move it when you got that much pressure on it. There you go. See, he has more leverage than I have. Okay, so it's moving.
That's not the finger he picks his nose with.
No, it's this one.
The other thing is, see,
Oh, he's talking about light pressure.
see how the kicker doesn't seem to be engaging?
Yeah.
Anything?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. It acts like that gear is too small or something. It looks like the normal gear size, but it just looks like the gears are not meshing with each other there, like it's supposed to. See how the holes are off? Let me have it. Let me shove it forward for. See how the hole pattern's off?
Mm-hmm.
Too far back? I'm engaged in the gear right now.
Mm-hmm.
Teeth are way up here, but I gotta come back, so. It acts like there's a mismatch in tooth count or something. More stuff I gotta figure out. Okay. Now here's the tranny plate here, but this is for a modern bike, swing arm bike. It's got that notch cut right there. So this is for a 58 to 64 bike. But other than that, it will work. You got to make sure the slot width is correct here, because the later model tranny plates, this gap is bigger than it's supposed to be. And instead of having two small holes right here, they have one big hole here with a PEEK tube went through it for chain wire. So you can see how this one fits on there like it's supposed to. So if I want to make it look right, all I got to do is weld up that slot right there and it'll look right.
Boy, it'd be a hard one to see underneath there, but
Yeah, well, I'll know it, so
you'll know it.
don't be surprised if it gets welded up.
I'm sure it will.
Alright, so we got that part handled. I haven't found a cover for that yet. Haven't really looked for it yet either. It's over here in the junk pile over here. I have another can of parts floating around. I know they reproduce all that junk, but same deal. I like old parts. Here's one of those 38 and earlier ones here
Right.
again.
Mm-hmm.
See how thick it is. There's plenty to choose from around here. Now see, this one, someone butchered it. They cut it and
Right.
ground on it, and I don't know what the hell they were doing. Obviously, they didn't know either. I think it was on this one here where they were doing the same thing as that. Somebody was trying to make something work that didn't fit, and they obviously knew what they were doing. All right, so we got all that stuff figured out. Like I said, this goes up down here. Did you get me out of gear? What was it? Oh, I moved it. I moved it out of neutral. When it lines up, it fits on there. I'm making up an Italian sprocket. What did it say Italy on it? Right here.
Italy?
Yeah.
Huh.
Harley had a lot of stuff made in Italy back in the early and mid 70s.
Huh.
Because this is real thin through here, so it'll be real fat like aftermarket
Yeah.
ones are. So I think this is a genuine Harley sprocket, but from the early to mid 70s.
I haven't been able to get that on there right.
It doesn't like going on there. I ain't putting it on because it won't ever come off. Yeah, see, it's got real tight splines on it like it's supposed to. Unlike the ones that go down, they rattle like crazy. Stupid. Now this here is the correct early clutch for a 41 bike. I am not going to put that piece of crap 30s clutch on this bike. So, this here is the early one. It has the big tall taper in here. See how deep this taper is? It's almost an inch deep. And the later aftermarket baskets, this here only sticks out that far.
Oh.
It's actually below this surface or flush. This one here, you see it sticks out about a 1/4 inch.
Yes.
So this is the correct early clutch for your 41 and later bike. See how it goes on there like that. So when you have a nice early one like this on there, you usually don't have broken stuff like this.
Right.
And you can see how the taper goes all the way back to
Yeah.
here,
Mm-hmm.
and this here
Right.
takes all the taper like you're supposed to. The later bikes, you can see half the damn taper hanging out. So this is basically a post-war clutch, I think. Did it have the titties on this one, or? Yeah, it looks like there is. Yeah, there they are. See little tits here? Because the nut here has a tit on it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a groove. That way you don't have to have a lock to hold it. So
Oh, I see.
Yep,
Yeah. Pops.
the early ones, they didn't have the titty on there, and they had like a teardrop slot in it, and they had a lock that went in and tanged down in there, and it had 2 flats on it, or 2 fold-up tabs. They had a regular nut, so you had to unlock it, adjust it, and put the lock tab.
That's a good way to do it, right
So
there.
they determined that this was a better way of doing it after the war. What a shocker. So, but this is, everything else is on this is the early style clutch. So I'm going to use all this early stuff here, but I'll wind up putting probably a 6-plate Barnett Kevlar clutch in here, because chances are the motor won't be stock when I'm done either.
The
we're
good stuff.
So we're going to upgrade the clutch. I am not going to use that 30 stupid clutch, because all I do, my 45 tears up that early clutch. This bike should put out a lot more than what a 45 motor does.
I would think.
So anyway, there's what that all looks like. So we got a little bit of work to do on that, and we can go back. We'll show you what a bike looks like. Let's see this, what it's going to go into when I get more time. So we get to go exploring through the jungles of Take Your Machine here. Now we look at the floor so you don't see all the other stuff you're not supposed to look at. So this here is well, that was on. It's dark back here. Where's the light at? Light doesn't do much good for us here. All right, well this is the motor. That's a 37 ULH motor there, but it has a 1930 VL top in on it. And the bike is in an actual 1935 VL chassis, which obviously does not fit very well, but for registration purposes it works great. They don't care anything about anything else, but there's your VIN number down there, so it's a 37 ULH. So that's what we're going to be using. And then we got the Fred's 49 Panhead turned into a 47 ULH last week. So this is what the ULH motor would look like with the correct top end and stuff on here. So this here is a 47 UL motor, as I recall. So we had to get this one registered too. So to mock it up, we stuck it in Fred's bike. So this one here is a 47 down there. I don't know if you can see it. It's something UL down there probably. I don't think it's an H motor. So, but you know, big twin flathead goes in the same spot as a knucklehead, and obviously a panhead that fits in there too. You just have to put a little spacer here, down here. Space it up just like if you had a knucklehead in your pan frame. So anyway, that's how we do it. And of course, we have our 57 drag bike right here. We're gonna have all our good shit. So anyway, there's what the motor's gonna go into. I'll stick it into a frame. The frame is there it is right there. Can't see that very well, but there's a knucklehead frame laying up there. So that's what it's gonna be going into. So. And we'll be putting a stock springer and stuff on it too, and all that good happy horse shit stuff. All right, well, that's where we're at for now.